Hi YouTube. Camera's in a weird spot, but I wanted to talk about Greasebot. Greasebot alone. This whole video is going to be a tavern talk about Greasebot, which is right now the most dominating card in the meta in the game of Battlegrounds. And we're going to talk about how to fix it, what we could do, you know, how it could be changed, where the issues arise, like why is it a problem, and the design of the game and the units. Oh, I didn't even... Oh, board position. This is interesting. Yeah, I mean, okay, so you're going to put it around 4th, 5th position. I didn't even know this was part of HS Replay. It's pretty cool. Be sure to use my HS Replay link in the bottom. If you look at the play impact and combat win rate and popularity of Greasebot, we'll go back to all the minions. It is insane, right? We look at some 6-drops. Okay, this is basically including everything. Leroy and Manted slot in very slightly above Greasebot, but it's worth remembering again that these are generic minions. And Greasebot is only in 55% of games, right? 5 out of 9 lobbies, Greasebot will be in the game. So it's already at a disadvantage in terms of the popularity, but it is still extremely popular, right? Slotting behind only the strongest cards in the game that are in every game, because this is the strongest card. Up there with Holy Mackerel because of the interaction between these two, and Deflecto, because again, these two cards have the unique properties of being able to reset their shields, right? They can scale multiple times in a turn. It isn't hard to get, you know, 9-6, 12-8, or even more scaling on a Holy Mackerel in one combat. Now, the big thing about this is that not only are you getting a huge amount of scaling on a premium unit that has a resetting shield, you're also getting it absolutely free, right? You're getting absolutely for free, no investment, and that's a big issue that we've run into with previous cards. We saw that with Stormscale Siren, the Naga. Free scaling without resource investment kind of breaks the game. Now, that doesn't mean that passive scaling doesn't have a spot, but you need to be very careful about how it's balanced. It cannot be the best scaling because it will just like, it rolls too hard, because once you get it going, if it's the best scaling, you're not investing anything. Right, and so then the player has a ton more resources to look for techs, right? Techs to play around anything that they might lose to, which just, they already had a really good chance of winning because they have, you know, the best card in the game, play impact, Greasebot, #1. You know, they're probably gonna win, and it just amplifies their ability to win by playing around lost conditions, playing towards their win conditions. They have so much more latitude to use the resources to look for other things rather than investing in scaling, right? Even if this you're having to cycle stuff, right? Caligos, you have to cycle stuff. Nomi, which is way too slow right now. Like, you have to cycle stuff. You need to invest into your scaling, right? The exception is, of course, like APM Pirates, but you need to invest into setting that up. It's not easy, especially right now with the pace of the game. Greasebot, that brings up another issue with Greasebot. Greasebot is insane in 3 categories, right? As a triple into a 6-drop, there's kind of different aspects that we look for, right? There's their tempo, right? Whether they can provide like direction and like, yeah, I guess those are the 2 things, right? Just how strong they are when you triple into them, and then the direction they provide. And Greasebot is insane. It's insane tempo right off the bat. It's a shield that doesn't die, so it's going to do a lot of damage to other players. You know, immediately once the shield is popped, it's going to be like a 7-9, which is extremely strong. It has that shield, so it's already getting 2 hits. It's a premium unit. It will continue to scale itself in every additional fight. It obviously gives you very strong direction. I think you can see this if you watch other players, like how late they'll take a Greasebot because it's a Greasebot. Like it will just scale itself. It's very generically good. You don't need to have a bunch of shields to pick it up because it has a shield, right? You're already good. Like Caligos, you're usually not going to start investing in 1/1 buffs to just buff a Caligos up if that's all you have on your board. Greasebot is buffing shield, it's buffing it more, right? You're getting 3/2 buffs and you're investing nothing to scale it. Again, not investing is the big issue here, and the combination with the utility of Holy Mackerel and Deflector that can get this free scaling along with like ultimate utility, right? Like usually there's a downside, like if something is really easy to scale up crazy high, like they don't have access to some of these other attributes in the game. Like Divine Shields should be somewhat difficult to scale because of how strong they are. Pirates don't have access to shields outside of like selfless and like generic stuff like low scale, and so you know that leaves them vulnerable to poison. One of the things my chat brought up was if you could bring back Megasaur. I don't think Megasaur has any chance of competing right now against Greasebot because you can just run a Tunnel Blaster. It doesn't matter if every Murloc has poison. It's so strong. It has Divine Shields. That sounds insane. Full board Divine Shield poison, and it kind of just doesn't matter because Greasebot will scale the mechs to a point that they will be able to handle the size, and they get resetting shields, so they can either run a Tunnel Blaster, get their resets, or just naturally get their resets and kind of ignore the fact that there's other shields, and they'll win by, you know, out trading the shield value, which is what end games come down to a lot of times now. That's why we see Leroy and Manted in so many end game boards, because they are extremely good at trading, right? They can take out shields in big units, and you know, like you can't value trade a Leroy per se. And you can obviously hit something bad into it, and that's fantastic, but there's not that much recourse for it. And a Manted Queen, right, can grab a shield in the right board, can have Wind Fury, always has poison. Just, you know, it helps in those trades. Greasebot and Holy Mackerel and Deflector kind of nullify those advantages. And the only way to really juice value outside of that is Baron with Selfless and stuff like that. But then you're investing board slots, whereas Greasebot, Holy Mackerel, Deflector, you can very well just have the whole board be shields and resetting and all that. So how do we fix it? One suggestion is take the shield off Greasebot. That is good in that it reduces the immediate tempo. There's still a lot of scaling on shields. It's still extremely strong, honestly. But you reduce the immediate tempo and you reduce the self-scaling aspect, right? So then it acts as a weakness on your board, where, you know, at least you have other strengths, but it's a weakness itself on board, and eventually you have to get out of it in the late game and sacrifice your scaling. That's kind of like how Light Fang works, right? That's part of the balance of Light Fang. You know, you think about demons and Fellbat. Okay, that's passive scaling, but you're limited because there's only shop minions you can eat, and they're only so good. You need to have demons on board, hard to access shields, again, you know, vulnerable to poison. Like, these things balance it. Those same things aren't holding Greasebot in check. And the unfortunate part is that, yeah, I mean, you think about the power creep where Megasaur was too strong and now probably wouldn't have too much impact on the meta. You know, even if I think about something like a Reborn Myexna, like, I don't think Reborn Myexna helps us here, you know, and that was as strong as Leroy or Manted in many scenarios, but just the strength of shields overall, the strength of the resets, and the scaling Greasebot provides without any investment into scaling, yeah, something that needs to be dealt with. I don't mind having passive scaling in the game, but it needs to be very heavily kept in check because the game is balanced around investing resources for scaling, for your direction, for tech, however it is, however you are playing the game, whether it's an Exodia style comp or a scaling comp or a passive scaling comp. You need to consider how you're investing your resources. That is what makes the game interesting, because those are our decisions, right? That's the only decisions we have in the game, really, is how we are buying and selling units and how we build our boards. Obviously positioning and stuff matters, but those are the decisions are what makes the game feel rewarding and interesting and makes it sort of addicting to play. When you say, oh, I can do better, I can get better, I want to do better, let me do better, queue up the next game. Greasebot, bit too strong, kind of preventing that. We look at the compositions, popularity way ahead. Again, mechs are only in 5 of 9 lobbies, so this is insane, right? This share is crazy. The average placement is insane. Leagues better than anything else besides pirates, which are the least popular and have a natural anti-meta aspect to them that counter mechs, right? So the Pirate Exodia, Eliza Exodia comp is good against mechs, and even then, it's still extremely unpopular, right? It's a very specific set of circumstances that allows you to play into it, and then you're rewarded, right? Mechs kind of don't have that very clean curve. Just play them. Just play mechs. When mechs are in, get Greasebot, you'll be happy. Probably need to move away from kind of low. I don't know how to say it. There's not a ton of thought or interesting decision making that has to go along with see Greasebot, buy Greasebot, play Greasebot, win. So I don't know. I didn't provide a ton of solutions. I guess taking shield off, reducing the initial tempo is important. The passive scaling almost surely still needs to be nerfed regardless. Plus 3-2 is probably too much. I get you want it to be a lot, but maybe 2-2. Plus 3-2 is insane in this situation because you're buffing divine shields. The health is nice, but the attack is really hard to deal with for everything else. So that probably needs to be toned down a little bit. Look at this. These are the plain win rates for Greasebot, okay? Like it's 0.1, plus 1.1, 1.2. Like crazy good, right? Athissa, the second best, which I just checked, right? Randomly. You guys didn't see that, but I just checked it randomly. I wasn't even sorted by this. Look at this. Like half a placement. So less than half. Omega Buster, another mech card, really great direction early. Again, like about half, a little less. Orgozoa, which is literally insane. Slightly worse on turn 6. Turn 6 Orgozoa. Like that's a big swing. You're like turn 6 Orgozoa is sick. Turn 7 Orgozoa, you're like dope. Not even half as good. Like look how fast it falls off right there. I mean, a golden one, yeah. If you're having a golden 6-drop, like you're doing pretty good. We don't need to look at that. But the plain ones are just insane. It's insane. Uther, look, it's kind of nice, but like no, like Uther is sick tempo. If you hit an Uther on turn 6, like you're not gonna lose fights, but it's not helping you win that much more. Nosy, super strong if you hit a turn 6. Yeah, okay. 0.5 again. It's not even close. All right, I'm gonna clip this and put it in the video. So if there's a weird clip, that's why. Hope you guys enjoyed some of these stats from HS Replay. Greasebot's base stats probably need to be toned down a little bit, or you can consider taking off the shield for a bigger nerf. I want to see something tried. I want to see them attempt to do something, the devs that is, because I think it's having a negative impact on the state of the game. So hopefully that's something that they address soon. And I hope you enjoyed this short little talk about Greasebot. If you did, be sure to follow the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm so bad at these callouts, but that's how much I would appreciate it that I still do them, because yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, peace.